Most people in Old Jeddah avoid the sea after midnight, not because of thieves, not because of ghosts, but because of a story. A story about a lantern that still burns for someone who never returned. On a humid summer night, 18-year-old Sami arrived in Al-Balad to work at his grandfather's old perfume shop. The ancient streets felt alive around him. Warm lanterns glowed above narrow alleyways. The smell of oud, coffee, and sea air drifted through the city. Historic coral stone buildings stood silently beneath the moonlight like forgotten giants from another age. Sami had heard stories about Old Jeddah his entire life, but standing there for the first time felt different. The city did not feel old. It felt awake. As Sami carried boxes into the small perfume shop, he noticed something unusual hanging near the entrance. An old bronze lantern. Its flame moved strangely, even though there was no wind. His grandfather quickly covered it with a cloth. "Never touch that lantern after midnight," he warned quietly. Sami laughed. "It's just an old lamp." But his grandfather did not smile. "That lantern does not belong to this shop." Later that night, long after the market closed, Sami could not sleep. The warning stayed inside his mind. Outside his window, Old Jeddah had become completely silent. Then suddenly, he saw light moving in the alley below. The bronze lantern, glowing by itself, slowly swinging in the darkness. Curiosity pulled him outside. The streets felt colder now. The warm Red Sea wind carried strange whispers through the empty alleys. Then Sami noticed something impossible. Wet footprints. Fresh footprints. Leading toward the sea, even though nobody was there. He followed them deeper into the old city, step by step, past silent buildings, past sleeping coffee shops, until he reached a narrow alley near the harbor. And there stood a man holding the bronze lantern. The stranger wore old white robes stained by sea water. His face was hidden beneath shadow, but his voice was calm. "You should not follow the lantern." Sami froze. The man slowly turned toward the sea. "I have been trying to return home for 40 years. The wind grew stronger. The lantern flickered wildly." Sami tried to speak, but fear tightened his chest. The stranger pointed toward the dark water. During a storm many years ago, a ship disappeared near the harbor. People forgot the sailors, but the city did not. Suddenly, the lantern flame burned brighter, and for a brief moment, Sami saw shadows moving across the water. Shapes of an old wooden ship swallowed by fog. Then everything vanished. Silence returned to the harbor. The stranger looked at Sami one last time. "If the lantern goes dark, the story will disappear forever." Slowly, the man handed Sami the lantern. The metal felt ice cold in his hands, and within seconds, the stranger disappeared into the fog, gone, as though he had never existed. Sami stood alone beside the sea. The lantern glowed softly against the darkness. Then he noticed words carved into the bronze. "The city remembers those who are lost." At that moment, Sami finally understood. The lantern was never guiding people toward treasure. It was guiding forgotten souls home. The lantern's flame suddenly became calm, warm, peaceful, and for the first time that night, the city no longer felt mysterious. It felt alive.